Hello, IGTV, and wherever else I decide to place this video. But for right now, it's gonna go on my IGTV. And we're gonna talk about kids and veggies because I see an abundance of parents totally avoiding veggies with their kids. I'll see parents sharing lunch, what the kids are having for lunch, and it's carb. So carbs are needed in their nutritional diet, but carbs are not all they need. Veggies become very, very, very important in a kid's diet. If you want them to have energy, okay, so that's the wrong thing to start with, right? But if you don't want them to crash when they're at school, let's put it that way. We don't want them to be fatigued. We don't want them to be grouchy, okay? So let's put it this way. We don't want them to be grouchy because I know when my kids are tired, they're grumpy. And I know when my kids don't eat well, they take notice that their energy level is down and they don't want to do anything and they're moody. But it also fuels them throughout the day to behave better and to do better in school. So I'm going to talk about veggies. So I have a daughter that will pretty much eat anything. She'll tell you she doesn't like squash. I have learned how to sneak squash in on her. But she eats an abundance of other veggies, so I'm not really stressed about the few vegetables she won't eat. Now, my son, on the other hand, there's a lot of vegetables he will not eat, particularly the green ones. There are a few green vegetables I can get in him. He will not eat regular green beans, but we've learned he loves frozen green beans. Why? I don't know. We just happened to buy frozen green beans one time and had that for dinner, and both kids ate it up. But they don't really like the other, regular green beans. How unusual is that, right? Another vegetable that you can sneak in a thing is rice cauliflower. You can make rice cauliflower kind of taste like anything you want it to taste. The other night we actually had rice cauliflower, had a little bit of lentil pasta, and then we topped it with marinara meat sauce. And it eliminated the amount of pasta we were using, so not overdoing our carbohydrates, and it also added in a really great veggie source that once all that was mixed together, you couldn't really even taste that it was cauliflower. So that was a win. Another huge win, how I've been able to get spaghetti squash in. If you guys watch my stories, I post it frequently. Actually, we had it for dinner last night, but I make lasagna, and instead of using noodles, I will bake either two small spaghetti squashes or one really big one, and I will scrape out the spaghetti squash and I will put it as the layer for noodles. Now, it's not going to be a super thick layer. You're going to notice you can still see the bottom, what's underneath of it. It doesn't have to be a super thick, can't see the bottom type layer, because you won't have enough spaghetti squash for that. You'll have to buy a couple of them, and we don't do that, and it becomes too thick. So we just kind of spread it around enough for two small spaghetti squash. Oh, there's Chris. Say hi. You sneezed. I was trying to hide you with my arm. I just kind of spread it around, and I make it just like you would lasagna. Okay, so easy. Kids love it, don't they?
Definitely.
Love it. And Reese does not like squash. Spaghetti squash, butternut squash, any squash family, zucchini, yellow squash. She is not a fan, but she loves eating it this way, okay? All right, so my son won't eat a lot of vegetables, but we have tried a lot of vegetables. And so we've learned what he likes, and it's always on hand. He likes peppers, these little sweet red peppers. They're called mini sweet red peppers, or he'll eat a diced up bell pepper, which honestly, I'll eat an entire diced bell pepper to get in a good veggie, and I'll eat it with a little bit of hummus or by itself. They're really good. They're very crisp. He will eat cherry tomatoes. He will eat, oh gosh, what was I getting ready to think of? He will eat, I thought I laid everything out. He will eat cucumbers. Okay, he will do cucumbers. He has just gotten into really eating carrots. Okay, so we get the baby carrots. He will eat it with hummus. By itself, he struggles, and we usually kind of even cut this up more or get the ones that are shredded, they're carrot chips. So he'll do those things. But there's a lot of things that he won't eat in the veggie category. That when we're having, he won't do asparagus. He won't do regular green beans, but he'll do frozen green beans. He won't have salad. Is there any other vegetable you can think? Oh, Chris has disappeared. Where did he go? So we have learned, like when we have asparagus, then Cash is probably gonna have peppers, or he's gonna have tomatoes and cucumbers. And we buy from a specialty store, but he'll also do regular balsamic, but we also buy, it's from the Alvet, which is a store in my local area. But we'll buy a specialty balsamic and drizzle it on his veggies. Such a win. Like, he will eat it up, especially when we do the tomatoes and cucumbers. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, my kid's so picky, they just won't eat vegetables, you're not trying enough vegetables. Add a sauce if you are trying enough vegetables and see what happens. Okay, I'm not promising you that they'll gobble it down, but I will tell you, we revisit. Carrots were something that he wouldn't eat. And I'm like, he's just not into carrots. And then we just keep revisiting it. Cauliflower, he will not eat cauliflower. I will tell you, even when we hide it in the marinara, I can't remember if he ate a little bit of that or not. I think I left it out of his, but we will revisit it. We'll go back to it. Cauliflower is not like a huge favorite of his. If you guys are doing peas are not the best vegetable. They're actually considered a starchy carb. I did not know that until I started coaching and I started really investing a little bit of time into learning more about nutrition. But, and gosh guys, like I'm holding a workbook, and this workbook is from one of our nutritional programs that lays out what each category is. Did you know you can count marinara as a vegetable if it has a low enough amount of sugar? I shared that in my story the other day, that there is a certain marinara I buy. It's by Simple Truth, and it's the 4 cheese blend. It has 4 grams of sugar. But if you go look at Prego or Ragu or whatever, some of them have 10 grams, and it's just 4 grams of that 10 is actually added in sugar. Crazy. And at that point, you can't call it a green container. It becomes what you consider a purple, which purple containers are usually your fruits. They're higher in sugar, okay? So this green list has so many options that you can just sit and go down and just, every time you go to a grocery store, buy something new. Realize it doesn't have to be a side they eat with dinner. It can be something like, we give him tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers as snacks all the time with a little bit of hummus. Try some sauces, try balsamic, try, like I said, hummus. There was another dip I got the other day. It was a spinach and artichoke dip made with Greek yogurt. He loved that too, so that was another win. If you're really struggling with knowing what your kids need nutrition-wise, and how much they should have of it and what you should be shooting for, the nutritional plan that I help people through and that I have used as a guide for a very long time actually has it broken down for kids. It's so beneficial, like, to the entire family. And I think a lot of times when people get started in their own health and fitness journey, they only think about themselves. And I'm not like calling you out for that, because I just think they kind of have that mindset that they're going on this diet, and you're not. You're going on a nutritional journey to impact and change your life so you live longer. And if you really think about it that way, everything else will fall into place as far as like losing weight, but feeling better, having more energy yourself, learning how to nourish your kids and make them healthier. Like, all of those things are going to fall in place for you if you start learning just a little bit. I'm not asking, guys, I'm not a nutritionist, not a professional. I've just taken, the last 5.5 years I've been a coach, and I've really invested in reading up, learning more about it. And I'm telling you, since this nutritional program came out, it's been like a year ago now, but I'm like, I wish I had something like this when I was learning more about nutrition. I wish I did, because it's like all the answers are in these short little videos, I call them course videos. They're short. There's an incredible workbook that outlines everything for you. There is an entire cooking show to help you more with recipes. It breaks down family health. It helps you understand your nutritional journey outside of just you. So if you do have a family, or you do have a partner or a parent or somebody that you want to help, this is something that you can share with them, that you can educate them on, because you learn it. And I think once you begin to learn more about what your body needs and about nutrition, then that diet mindset goes out the door. There's no reason you need to diet. You just need to learn how to eat. And when you learn how to eat, that is when you're going to live longer. That's when you're going to be successful. That's when you can maintain. That's when you're going to achieve your personal goals. So reach out. I'd always be happy to help. Bye, y'all.